Sword of omens, give me sight beyond sight.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. 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 My dudes. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday.
So true, so true.
Oh my god, he just ran in.
You just have no long-term memory because you get high all the time.
Alright, let's do this thing. Where we at? Where we at?
Where are we at?
Where are we at? What up, y'all? Welcome to this week's B2P. Let's go! We're super stoked to have Goonii joining us tonight, fucking as our guest.
Let's go, boys.
Hey. And before we
What's
get
up, boys?
before we get into that, fucking happy birthday 508 FPV. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Happy fucking birthday, 508.
Happy birthday to Carl at HD0.
It's Carl.
Happy
Birthday, sir.
Happy birthday,
doing cool shit.
Willie No shit. Happy birthday, Willie Cashwell.
Oh, Cash, man.
Really?
And happy birthday to motherfucking Wombat FPV. Don't suck. Let's go.
Happy birthday,
dude.
All
Where are you
right.
at,
So,
Wombat?
where are I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a
Somewhere
minute.
in Mississippi.
Somewhere in Mississippi. All right. Let's get into this shit. Thank you for coming tonight, guys. Good to see y'all. What's up, chat? How you doing? Fucking Goonii in the house. What's up? I'm gonna wear out the air horn tonight, and also, I have this.
Grab his dick and twist it! Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight.
Well, you won't be able to hear it. It'll come across in the stream.
Twist it.
Sorry, I had to. Let's see. All right, let me turn that off. Otherwise, it might just plague us. Right on. What's up, chat? What's up, guys? How the fuck are we all doing? How's everybody doing this week?
Hey, buddy.
How is everybody? Everybody have a good week? I had a good week.
I had a good week.
Week's been
Down,
pretty
me
chill.
too. For sure. It's my daughter's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Shit,
Goonii daughter.
Happy birthday, Gooni's daughter. That's awesome.
It is
That was
awesome.
my sister's birthday on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Happy birthday, sis. Of which you will never see.
Oh, fucking. What's up? What's up?
How about
everybody?
you guys? Did you guys have a good week? Goonii, good week?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, fuck yeah. It was awesome. It was a good one.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, bro. I woke up
Always
every
good.
day.
I got to fly lots.
Hell
You got
yeah.
You got to fly lots.
Yeah. Oh
Where-
yeah, always.
So
All over the place, man. Creeks, rivers, everywhere.
Hell
Forests.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't touched my drone.
This
in like a
area
week
is
and a
covered
half.
and stuff. Oh no. Get out there and fly, bro.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
What are you flying
man.
right now?
Hmm?
What's your main flyer right now?
A beat up BQE battery.
BQE. Nice.
That's
Love it.
enough said. Say less.
Yeah. Right.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Bill. How are you,
Yeah,
buddy?
that thing has seen some shit, and somehow it still
No
fucking
doubt.
flies. This
What's up, Private Island?
the frame's like fucking 3 years old, and the build that the current iteration that it's on is like a year and a half old now.
Crazy. Yeah,
Right
those
on.
things never die, man. I love
No,
it.
6 mil arms.
Mm.
Yeah, that 6 mil arm doesn't
Nice.
break.
What's up, Ghost
the
of
only time I've had to
FPV?
replace arms is because I smashed in the feet so much you can't mount motors to them anymore.
Word.
Yeah.
I just had to replace a so I fly the fucking cricket.
the moon goat.
Nice.
And it's got
Yeah.
like a you know, a large pin in the middle. Well, mine got bent, which is a good thing. I mean, it took a long time for that to happen. I've had it for like
To happen.
ever.
Yeah. You're sending it, obviously.
yeah. But I had to replace that the other day, which was weird.
Is it like where the
just-
arms come together? Or is it like a pin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the
that's-
two arms come together, it has just a large pin that goes in there, and the thread actually just completely broke.
It went.
Man, just said bye. I mean, I gave it to it. The arm didn't break though, which was nice.
Yeah, I
Nice.
guess if you
Yeah,
you
it's
know
always good when arms-
it'd be if a pin could break and save your arms, that would be perfect in my book. You know.
Oh,
Fucking-
for sure. Well, but I mean, this one, I mean, it's a hefty fucking pin. I mean, it lasted forever, but
Mhm.
the arms have lasted too. I've only broke like, I don't know, in a year and a half, 2 years, maybe almost now. Probably, I don't know, 15 arms. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And I bought
Sure.
like a shitload whenever I bought my frames. I bought like 20
15
fucking
arms in 1 year.
Yeah, that's fucking
That's a-
fantastic. I feel like I spent more on arms.
That's a lot of arms.
It was
That's a good
but,
amount of arms.
I mean, it was proper scent
Mhm.
and crashed well.
Clearly.
All
Clearly.
concrete or metal.
See, I never want to jinx myself when I talk. I've broke a lot of bandolero arms, especially the 4mm ones on the 6-inch because they have
I
more.
broke a ton of those.
But but then the 10-inch, there's no fucking danger.
Really, the bandolero weren't they
I
like
never
fucking
broke
12 inches wide or 20 inches, 20 centimeters wide or millimeters wide? They're
the
huge.
4mm
Yeah.
the 4mm bandolero.
They're
arms
they're
didn't
they're
hold up
only
too well,
4
but the
mil
6 mils do.
thick, and on the 6-inch,
Really? It's only 4?
on this. Well,
On the OG
there's on the
design,
OG, yeah. On the OG design, it was 4 mil, and my bandolero is a 6-inch, so I've got a little more cantilever out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was also rocking pretty heavy
Yeah,
motors,
definitely
pretty big
Bannister.
motors. So like fucking, all in all,
Yeah, brother.
yeah, I broke arms, but on the 10-inch I don't because they're 10
I'd
mil
rather
thick.
replace an arm than I would a top plate.
I
or a
broke
bottom
top plate. I
Oh,
break
any
top.
day.
That's what
Any
I break
day.
on the 10-inch is the top plate. I break the top plate on the 10-inch. I don't break the arms. And the 6-inch I break arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna get some 6 mils for it. I just hadn't yet.
That was the thing I
Word.
broke the most on. I think the reverb frame. Broke the top plate constantly on that.
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
frame.
yeah. It was a pain in the ass because it was just,
They're paper thin at that point too.
I'm excited. It's been raining all week, and so I actually managed to get out to fly today a bit, and that was
Nice.
I just mostly squirted around with the anamorphic squirt.
Yeah, man, squirts.
But it was a fucking blast. I was fucking having a good old time, fucking doing that.
Got some good shots.
It'll be interesting to see how those come out. Yeah, because I literally just like color spaced them really quick and fucking did a quick balance, and then just threw the grade across all the clips just to have like a starting point. You know what I mean? And like fucking
your version of just threw it together though is like
Exactly.
I'm getting there.
Like,
getting there.
your version of what you're saying seems really simple.
The rest of us struggle to get there.
It's interesting though, because when you're doing anamorphic with the GoPro, I'm using a 1.3 anamorphic, and so in Resolve, all you do is just highlight your clips, right click, and go in and just change the pixel aspect ratio to 1.3 anamorphic, and it automatically fucking does the D-squeeze and sizes your frame for you. So I didn't even have to fuck with it, which is great. It was just like fucking literally just one option change, and my aspect was right. And then if I wanted to crop it down, I could, but it was pretty fucking cool.
Nice, man.
Fun.
Huh?
I'll be anxious to see what turns out.
Yeah, man. I fly slam squirt pretty steady too. Any of my, most of my creek footage or my forest footage is all slammed or shot glass.
Right.
And
Really?
my other mains are all the ohms, Dronka ohms. Shout out to Westside Chris. That is like so much fun to fly, man. Honestly, he made the design on that thing. It's just fun to fly. I love it.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what are the specs on that guy?
What are the specs on it? I fly a 6-inch and a 5.5-inch prop on those, and I use the old school DJI and DJI 3 air units on those I got the new goggles, so I really like them, to be honest with you. I can't complain about DJI at all. A lot of people hate on them, but they're
dude, I love my V2s all in all. Like they're fucking. I was actually today. It was just once I was able to get WTF OSD going with all my vistas. I was like, this is fucking. Yeah. It makes it feel like analog in all the good ways, and fucking just like, it's fine. I'm not trying to capture anything with that air unit. Like I'm just fucking.
Right.
Yeah. For me, for what I need,
a steady, strong signal.
Yeah, and it's fucking, dude. The squirt feels great. I mean, it's perfect for that build. For a squirt, it really is. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Fucking, you don't feel it, at all in that context.
Yeah, 100%. Chris printed me up a nice mini 11 for it. So a mount is, man. So nice, so smooth. It actually just having a little bit less weight on it did actually make quite a bit of difference for smoothness of my flight. So
on the slam squirt,
about that for sure.
What motors are you running on your slam squirt?
Slam squirt mini lamb. It's a good question. It's a good question. 1 second.
Why he's doing that? The one thing I did notice about the anamorphic lens is that any kind of wind or anything, you would see it on roll. You would definitely see roll, any sort of jitter, or if anything came out tuning wise, you would see it. Like all in all, Emax
1407s, 2800 kbs. Yeah.
Shout out to the Emax Ecos.
But
yeah, man.
Best value in FPV.
Have you tried one of those fucking anamorphic lenses yet, Goonii? You should try one if you haven't. Like, I think
No, not yet. I really want to.
They're about $60.
Yeah.
And I like
good for over water, right? It's
just a dope fucking aspect. And then when you get flares off stuff, depending pure sun at in the sensor is going to give you a pretty gnarly flare. But when you catch bright reflections and get flares off those, they're really nice. You get those really nice JJ Abrams fucking you know, Star Trek blue fucking purple flares. Yeah.
Right.
You know, those anamorphic
Yeah.
flares. But it just makes the aspect super wide and it looks really nice. Like I said, the only thing I noticed is I could see this quad is pretty much stock.
Here, what's up, bud?
Pretty much still stock tuned. So like I got a little bit of roll tuning I need to work on with my slam squirt. Because like with the squirt, it's like fucking sail fins, you know, on the fucking ducks. Even though they're small and they're way less than the original ones, you still can tell, you know, the fucking ducks are you know, doing this thing. Right. And so like I'm still working on my roll tuning a little bit. I started getting more logs and shit today so I can start dialing it in a little further. But But yeah, man,
do you black box everything?
Oh yeah,
black box across the board.
Oh, I mean, if I care, if I'm worried about, if I'm just flying, I'm not. I mean, but I'll usually try to grab a log after at the end of the day or whatever. But today I was making a point to stop and grab some logs and then do some things that were tuning, you know, oriented as far as my flying about. But yeah, I try to get logs and use them, you know, and especially with new tunings like squirts and stuff, because they're a little finicky, you know. But unstabilized, it looks pretty fucking good. I was like, if you stabilized it, I actually did run a little bit of stabilization on it just to see. It was fucking really nice. Yeah, because like unstabilized is pretty fucking good. And then if you just add a bit of stabe, it was like, oh shit, this is pretty clean. Like, whoa. So I'm excited. I'm gonna see how it works out. What up, Westside? Logs for Ross. That's right.
So Westside.
Fucking. You know, and it adds a little bit of softness. I mean, you saw the shots. I thought it adds a nice softness. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's interesting. It'd be cool. Yeah, OG squirt versus for sure. I'm so glad I did.
Got to do the OG.
When I got Chris's files and printed all that shit and converted the one I had, it was like, fuck yeah, this is so much better. Between the
so much better,
the smaller ducks and the bigger motors, bro. I went from 1507s to 2205s. I think they're the Axis flying ones. Those really wide, like pancakey fucking, you know, squirt motors.
Like the FPV cycle looking suckers.
Yep. Yeah, those are 2204s or something. I think there's like three motors I saw right in that same range. One's like, there's the FPV cycle, the Axis, and then something else. I don't remember what it was. It might have been a Zing. I don't know, but they're all about that 22045-ish stator volume, and I will tell you that as compared to a 15 or 1407 from all my other ones, the low mid throttle is amazing. It is the best. You never have to go like past mid throttle to maintain altitude. It's fucking
to maintain.
It's fucking so good.
It doesn't feel like a whoop anymore.
Well, with the 1507, you get your power bands higher, you know, but with these it's just all low ends, and it's Do you have the FPV cycle?
Just got it.
Do you have the FPV cycle motors?
Oh.
Have you tried those? The FPV cycle motors?
I do. Yeah, I got it. Love them.
Yeah.
Love them, bro. Love them.
Well,
yeah, they're smooth. They're nice.
That's what I was gonna get, but they were all out of stock.
Like you said, low end too.
I want a set of those for my 5-inch quad.
Westside said, throw a line on it, Chad. 10-minute flight times.
Bro, yeah, dude. So one thing I gotta do before I forget tomorrow is I gotta plug mine in and do the forced cell count, because so I would fly pack and then I'd either crash or something would happen. And fucking, I'd unplug it. When I plugged it back in, a lot of times, all of a sudden, my cells were coming up at like 4.35 and shit. I'm like, that is not right. There's no way they're 4.35. And so I was like, so then I'd start flying, and then the quad would just fucking die because it was told it was like reading it at like 5S or something and not 6S because the voltage was getting down. So everything was scaled wrong, and it would be telling me I had like 20 some volts and the quad's just falling out of the sky. I'm just like, yeah. And then I realized what it was going on. Fucking. So I got to do that tomorrow. Lithium ion. Dude, I want to throw them DeWalt packs on that bitch. Fucking, we need to make a DeWalt slam
I've yet to
squirt.
do any lithiums. I want to try lithium so bad on the Ohm 7,
Yeah.
Chris. Oh man, I gotta do that. I gotta put a 6S pack together for sure. Gotta give it a try. Do you do any lithium ions?
Me?
No, I've
Not
actually
me, no.
not
Mhm.
not
Only for my electric skateboard.
Yeah.
I built two.
My own board houses them.
I built two 10s. 10s
When I
fucking.
vaped, that's what it charged. Yeah, that's what I used.
Yeah. I built two 10s fucking skateboard packs when I was in New York City. They're 52 volts a piece. They're
crazy.
10s. Yeah.
Sounds fun.
It was pretty nuts building the so I had to break it
That's
out.
kind of what I heard. No punch outs at all, and that's why I was just like, it's probably just gonna blow one up if I get it.
What happens if you try to do a punch out just not there?
Probably
Or
the
something
batteries
bad
just don't
happen.
last super long if you.
They can't supply the current, so they'll probably just sag out. I mean,
Sag.
and get really hot doing it. Fucking yeah, build 10s fucking packs. There's no chargers for 10s, so I had to build it as two 5s packs in a weird series parallel as far as the balance leads were concerned, so I could charge 5s at a time, and I had two hot leads and one ground, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so I built them. I have them somewhere. They're actually really nice. I'm actually pretty proud of these batteries. If you can't tell, fucking, they're a pain in the ass. It's like I want to get I want to get a fucking one of them, a good spot welder, to fucking start, because it's scary building a big 10s Lion pack, bro.
I won't break
Oh
apart
my God,
batteries.
man.
It's
Like-
just not worth it to me because I feel like
Yeah.
my dumb ass is gonna
Gonna
do something
blow it
stupid,
up.
and then my face is gonna get fucking melted off, and I'm just gonna be.
I'm on that
milk-faced.
school bus
Same.
too, bro.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
fuck
just
with
saying,
batteries.
I'm just not trying to do. Not worth it for me.
Yeah,
I'll
No,
give them to you.
no.
You can blow yourself up. That's fine.
2170s.
That's your choice. I don't mind.
Are definitely 21700s are definitely a fucking good option. I feel.
Which
40.
21.7s you using? What's like?
Yeah,
the
which
hot
was
one?
what do you
Kinda
use
like-
it off axis?
What core battery is it? Is it a Molly cell? Is it a?
Oh my
Panasonic?
God.
A lot of people
Is
use
it-
Sorry
like
to cut
Molly
you off.
cells and shit.
West Side's building his DeWalt. Have you seen the DeWalt fucking drone?
That's what I
yet?
was talking about.
Yeah,
It's
I
not-
saw the
Can't wait for his
fucking
video.
pictures of it.
Oh my God, dude.
I showed it to Artie and Greg fucking after Chris sent the pictures, showed us. I was like, dude, that's fucking amazing, bro. Like that's why I said I want to put a DeWalt battery on the
DeWalt
fucking
contract.
put a DeWalt battery on the fucking slam squirt, dude. You have your own landing pad. It's like
Yeah.
perfect. You just land on the fucking
Yeah,
battery.
totally.
It's like perfect.
Yeah, 100%.
I like it.
Yeah, that thing is styly for real.
Sorry to cut you off there, Artie.
No.
I just had to
Feel
say
free.
that.
Off axis is using Molly cell. Yeah.
Take it easy, boys. Take it easy, sir. Can't wait to see the
Later,
edit.
West Side.
Same pattern.
Be good, West Side.
Cool. I got to get one of those off of Falcon Red, off axis for sure. He's just south of me, actually, on the island.
Word. Well, hell yeah. Y'all got everything, dude. On the island.
Mhm. Yeah, Camera Butter's here too. He's here.
Exactly.
I know, right?
What else you need? Good NDs.
What's
some,
up, Tit?
Camera
That's
protection.
true.
And,
Good NDs and Lion batteries.
Some lions.
Yeah, for sure.
What up, Tint?
What up, Tit?
Tent in the motherfucking house. Off axis. What's that, brother?
It's good too.
Bergman. How are you, sir?
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
I mean, what has 30 amp discharge? There's some 26650s that do. The Sony VTC 5 is a 30 amp
Well, off axis was saying that
allegedly.
the Molly cells that are in his packs do 40.
Well, fuck,
Yeah,
Brad's in East
the new
Bend.
Molly
Who's-
cell
I thought he was
21.7s
south.
at 42 allegedly.
Well, he's close, anyways.
Well, shit. Fucking. Let's get into this. So, Goonii, fucking, you've been here before. You've been on the show before, but you should,
Yeah, brother.
tell us a little about your background. Like, first of all, like, what got you into FPV, and were you into, like, other RC hobbies and stuff before FPV?
No. I went over to my buddy Darian's house, and he had, like, literally a little whoop in his house, and he was just flying around doing his thing. I was thinking, oh, that's really cool. And then he tosses on the goggles, and I'd never seen that before, obviously, at that point. This was about 5.5 years ago. And he tosses on the goggles and he starts flying around. I'm like, hey, wait a second, man. Are you, like, seeing this? He's like, yeah. And he tosses them on, and he's flying it around in the room. That was it. I was done. Like, how do I do this? And then you go online, and then you see everybody's making videos and doing stuff outdoors. And I'm like, oh, I want to be a bird. Let me be a bird, please. So, yeah, I started off. I got lucky and unlucky same time. Like, it was winter here, and winter starts to happen like end of October for us up in Vancouver, Canada. So the rainy season kicked in, and nobody's going outside. You know, you got the winters coming. So I ended up getting a controller, and then just doing a simulator for like 4 months, and logged a ridiculous amount of hours before I even got on a quad. So I always suggest that to people that want to save a little bit of money on their crashing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely. I definitely did not.
It helped me a lot.
That route.
Yeah,
and it cost me a whole lot more
for sure. I bet it did.
I did I did a mix of both. I mean,
my wife almost left me that year.
Oh, Jesus.
She's like, you spent how much on drone parts?
Right.
Oh
man, classic.
We're not going on vacation. Nope.
Right.
Motors. Props, frames.
And then, like, most people, you know, watched UAV Futures and stuff, and they ended up having a Discord channel in UAV Futures. And Enoch, of all people, I really enjoyed talking to Enoch and Gravy and everybody else that was in there. So I ended up becoming friends with them pretty quick. And Enoch just told me, you know, how to do certain things. He's like, your conformal coding was actually how I first started talking to him, because I really wanted to fly in the rain and the snow. And he's like, oh yeah, watch this, and shows me all his videos, and he's got everything about conformal coded flying going on in his videos. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Still conformal coding or worry free?
Right. Yeah, conformal coding always.
No, I think Artie said, are you still using conformal coding, or have you tried anything else like worry free, like FPV worry free?
Oh, worry free. Oh, I didn't know there was a thing called worry free. No, I just been regular conformal coding, you know, the good old classic, always. Yeah.
Fix the classics, man.
What's worry free? What's the worry free?
It's basically encasing your
flight
controller and parts in epoxy.
Kind of.
Oh yeah, Chris was doing. Westside was doing that.
Yeah,
was doing
it works really well.
Stuff.
I mean, a lot of people swear by it, like fucking literally fly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
3 or 4 inches of water, or a foot or 2 of water, fly out.
Yeah, knock on wood everywhere. I'm been super lucky with my flying so far. I'm always over water.
I mean, you're supposed to, whenever you do conformal, the thing I like about conformals is it can be extremely lightweight. Yeah, it does kind of suck to have to burn it off and redo it, you know, when you have to make a repair. But at the end of the day, the one problem I think, one thing I don't know that a lot of people do, I don't know if you do, but you're meant to check it under a UV light when you're between each coat, so you can see.
I haven't.
You can see.
Well, you can.
You can see what you've coded, how well you've coded, and can confirm that you've actually got it right. So you know,
you see that shit.
Yeah. So basically, you do a coat. on both sides, and then let that dry, and then check it. And then I'd like to do usually 2 to 3 coats personally, to make sure that I've got it right. But I check it basically really quick under the UV and fucking just make sure I didn't fucking miss something, because it's easy to do, you know. But
You're
once
always
you
leveling people up with your knowledge, brother. Love it.
once you do that, though, I mean, I've never had a failure from water on any of my quads that I've conformal coated. I mean, outside of
failures into water,
I've had failures. Yeah, I was gonna say I've had other
water.
kinds of failures, you know, crashing failures, but not from water. The only thing that fucked up, which actually, you know, one thing that Fly High was talking about is like, you know, I never conformal corded my cameras. I do the backs, but I wanted to get around the sensor. But he was saying just seal the fucking whole body shut, which that's a way to do it. Yeah, you know,
Very free.
Yeah.
Unless you
Nail polish, yeah.
But apparently it's not coming apart. So the only downside to that would be is if you break your lens, you know. But I don't know. I mean,
so then you kind of.
And so I did lose one camera to water along the way, but I never. But
you did?
Only because like I said, I don't even know if I even conformal coated that one at all. But it got wet, and when I powered it up, it shit the bed and never came back to life. So, yeah. I didn't wait long enough. I'm not gonna lie. I was impatient. Yeah. But
that's usually
always
what happens
the
to me.
panic.
Yeah, don't coach your plugs.
I put a quad in a ditch once.
Don't coat your barometer.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, the fucking bandos in New York City always had bando water puddles, and some of those were deep. Some of them are really deep. Like lose your quad deep. Yeah.
That sounds like meningitis.
Dead rats and meningitis. Yeah.
Chlamydia.
Tide's high.
There's my boy. Actually, Tide is a really good friend of mine who also basically started flying the same time I did. And he's been so nice to me over the years. He's done a lot of my builds while I was busy having a family. He was like, "Oh, let me build your shit." So
right on.
Yeah, shout out,
Todd.
I love friends that just like building, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll help you do that." And
I'll take care of that.
Bang that shit out in a few minutes.
Don't you worry. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
dope.
kind of got to know.
Good friend to have around an FPV. And in
Yeah,
general.
for sure. Well, I mean,
So
for some of us, building is not what you want to do. I just want to fly.
Yep.
I like building the quad. I don't like repairing the quad. That is
also my thing.
I love like I think building can be an art form, and you can really, especially like I like go balls deep, 3D print, custom make everything. You know, I modify parts, make sure everything is exact me, and fuck, you know, so I really take a lot of time and energy, a week or more to do a build, you know, but repairing the motherfucker, I hate that shit. I hate that.
I make it clean. It's a clean fucking build, good solders, but.
I hate
spend a week I'm going to crash it. I mean, that is
every time I spend a lot of time on a build and make it look all nice, getting nice 3D prints and fucking shit. Yeah, that build will last me a week.
Well, and then when you do have to repair it,
just go outside and rub it on the concrete first.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's like, man. When I was racing motocross, drop your helmet just immediately as soon as you get it out of the box.
Right.
Let it smack on the ground.
Yep.
All right, now it's not so pretty anymore. Let's get up and not kill ourselves.
I just take it straight outside and throw it in the dirt. Then I just get it over with. Fucking just throw it in the dirt.
Well, no, it's just like I always find when I do those really fucking like mint ass builds where I'm thinking of everything, right?
Yeah.
Think about everything but repairing it, because then it's adding an extra step or two. Like now I got to pull this off, then I got to put it back on.
No, I mean. I think if you lay it out properly, it shouldn't.
That's how I end up doing that shit. It's not. I'm not thinking about. Oh, I'm gonna have to unsolder this motor at some point.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, because I build my own. I build my own wiring harnesses and shit, and that's one thing I never use. I never generally have problems with is wire damage. You know what I mean? I build my own harnesses. I fucking put the fucking you know, tech flex over. What's up, Tiny Whoop? What's good? Fucking
hello, sir.
Woohoo!
Speaking of the devil, Coffee Bones is that friend who got me started on this FPV adventure.
Oh no shit! Shout out to Coffee Bones.
Yep.
So what was the first drone for you?
Yeah. So what? So after the sim, what was your first drone?
What was my very first drone? What was it? Oh, it was just honestly, it was just a crapper. It was like
a wizard.
Was it a wizard? Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was a 2.5 inch. It was overpowered for indoors, but I bought it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna fly it indoors. The very first flight, gentlemen, I just got out of the shower. I'm wearing a towel, and I put the thing down, and I didn't know about switching props properly. And I swear to God, I turned it on, and that thing flew right by my balls, and I was like, oh, I went right into a nip. Just blended my chest. I swear to you, right away.
Oh,
Bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know.
What are you fucking doing with your balls? Your balls hanging over the props, dude. I mean, that's just
took your nipple off.
Put your clothes on at the bench. Is that we gotta make a rule for this now? Take your props off. Put your clothes on.
UAB futures, you didn't let me know. Fuck you. You should have told me I needed to be wearing clothes for this.
I can't quad nude. What do you mean?
No naked balls or nips.
Oh, dude, a buddy of mine missed his balls by this much.
I mean, but I'm a Neanderthal.
Listen, seriously, a buddy of mine fucking hit himself with a 3D helicopter and missed his balls by that much. Had a welt on his fucking inner thigh.
Like I'm asking to get something to get cut up,
right, bro? Fucking
those things are fucking insane.
They're lawnmowers,
literally no guard lawnmowers that fly. Like that is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life.
And they're not
the first
just
race,
literally flying things. They're fucking
I mean, like literally the first
dragonflies.
The first multi-GP race I ever went to, there were like a couple of guys that were doing. That was the first time I'd ever seen it live, like 3D helicopters. Bro, I just wanted to duck and run, like, and I was trying not to be a bitch. So I'm standing. I stayed where I was, but my butthole was so tight you couldn't have fucking got anything out of it.
Flying lawnmower, bro.
The whole time, just like,
it was so like if I did that, I would be that guy. It would be that article with my decapitated ass.
I mean, bro, you almost became an FPV story. Could you imagine the story? Yeah, dude cut his ball off with his quad, you know, like serious, like,
no, it was such a wake-up
like,
call.
Could you imagine, dude? Oh my God!
Josh Bardwell's opening thing on any of his build videos would be,
make sure you wear a cup,
guys.
Wear a cup.
Let's remember. We'd have a memorial to Gooney's testicle.
Jesus, you're like literally.
It would be
just a jar.
Oh shit!
So
it was his first flight.
So you obviously
never had a chance.
So you're obviously also into you know, the whole video and the art of video editing and all that fun stuff. And were you into like
100%.
Were you into photography and things of that nature before FPV, or did they bring you into all of that?
Absolutely. Yeah. It raised the level like it always does. You guys know FPV just hits you on so many different levels where your learning curves. You think you've got one done, and then there's just this whole other curve just waiting for you. Like you in color grading, it's a perfect example. Like you've helped me 100%. The boys have all been super helpful. Chris and Zorro, Westside's been really helpful with, you know, don't do it like this, do it like that. That helps a lot. And really opening your ears and hearing people, and, you know, being open to stuff, you know, when somebody's got good content, you can't help but to like respect and listen and be like, I want to do this. This is what I need, you know, I need to raise a level. So, you know, FPV, man, this community's nothing quite like it, I gotta say. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, it's a damn good community.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, so video editing, love making stuff and just trying out, you know. Some people are going to enjoy your art, some people aren't, and you just, you know, you swing, you give it a go, you see what sticks, and if people like it, and if you like it, that's all, you know, that's all that matters, as long as you're enjoying yourself.
Right. So did you do any photography or video work before FPV?
Yeah, photography, not so much video. You know, everybody's got a camera phone, so that you know, is wanting to venture into just learning some more video stuff, and FPV kind of gave me the big push in that direction. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I feel like
it's weird
for
because
a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because I don't know, you always think that you're getting to a certain level, and one of my boys, Mitchell, he's like, look, man, he goes, I'm going to give you a tip. Try to keep your horizon in the top 2/3 so you got more content coming towards you. That's a nice tip to get, man. Like looking at all the pros videos, movies, just listening to people have tips like that. Just watch a regular TV show and everything's going on in the top 2/3, you know. That's like your
the rule of thirds in general, and you can divide your thirds, you know, vertically or horizontally, and or mix them
totally.
And it's it's like, that's one thing I was doing today. It was just kind of like, you know, sitting there and like imagining traditional camera shots, dolly, truck, you know, different types of camera shots, and then just trying to, you know, re-emulate that with the squirt, as, you know, get as close to like I was flying around truck and getting close to the motor, you know, the wheels as I could, and just, but then trying to like, and then flying back or doing a slight pan around it or slight orbit, but then just fly backwards and just truck backwards basically, you know, and fucking
man.
Try to do as level of a dolly as you can, you know, along this way and things of that nature. It all goes hands in hand, and obviously there's combos that you can pull with, you know, FPV drones that you just couldn't do with, you know, many other traditional systems. You know,
agreed.
Some of the motion,
that's what makes it so interesting to watch, man. Yeah, for sure.
Some of the motion control stuff is getting pretty close with like the robot arms, you know, but and some of the super techno crane things, you know, but yeah, aside from that,
totally,
you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so many cool, like this, you know, the one shot is just, drones do that on a level that most people can't even, you know, imagine. Go do anything.
The one shot takes.
The one shot takes, for sure. Oh, what? So missed a double rainbow.
Oh, that sucks. But there's always an opportunity later, I'm sure. I bet it won't be the last 100%. Double rainbow. Glad to see you've been out flying, doing some shit. That's good to see.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been too long.
Yeah, so it's back out there. That's rad, man.
I think we might have a video on the playlist tonight.
Allie and I were hanging out in the 3D chat with Chris Tudor and those guys in the Dark Side chat. And we were like, where the fuck is Zoe? Zoe's, you know, in our chat, and we're like, yo, we gotta fucking get Zoe over here. And so yeah, it's good because there's a community of 3D pilots. They're super stoked to have her back and have her, dude. And so like,
no kidding,
we're excited to see that. I'm just sitting there I'm not flying 3D, so I'm just sitting there watching it. But I've been in that chat for a good while. It's fucking good to see.
I never seem to be able to have my quad up in the air when there's a good fucking event happening in the sky. I always miss the good sunsets or fucking rainbow or cloud formations. And when I actually go do fly, it feel like cloudy, gray.
Yep.
Sad.
Right.
So what's your main
get lucky.
What is your main rig right now? Like your main 5-inch? Is that an ohm, or are you doing something else?
Yeah, an ohm. Well, and it's 5.5, man. Chris like said, you know, like, you want to up it just a little bit to have that little extra, and he was right. The 5.5 ohm is fun. It's so fun to fly, but being here with, as you can see in my videos, there's a lot of range and distance to cover here. So I'm on the 7 more than anything else.
Yeah.
So the 7 and the squirt, slam squirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The 7's so much fun. I don't know. You know, a 7, like one thing about a 5 is when you're bringing it in at the end, you got more, you know, more to deal with a little bit. It's not as stable. A 7, you're locked in. You can come in nice and low, and I get in places where I got, you know, not very much room between me and trees and obstacles, and I'm trying to land on my pad, you know, and just I want to have something nice and easy to bring in. So my 7 treats me pretty good.
Yeah, there's something about the wider wheelbase of bigger quads in that regard is
yeah. Yep. I agree. Yeah, for sure. How about you? Are you on a 5? Your main of 5?
For the longest time, my main small quad was a 6-inch, and I still prefer, I think, the 6. It's just a little bit bigger than a 5. I mean, I have plenty of 5 inches. When I was racing, it was all 5-inch. You know, I was racing a lot of really super light, like, you know, 200-gram fucking 300-gram builds. You know, fucking like super lightweight 5-inch. But also pretty fragile. You know, when I started flying BQE, a lot of the BQE stuff I started when I started flying, it was Bill was doing a lot more micros and things. He had his he had a 5-inch, but it wasn't at the time. My head was in racing, and I wasn't interested in the bigger one he had at the time. But then when he did the Bando, I was like, give me a 6-inch. I want a 6-inch of that, and fucking. That became one of my favorite quads, and that's when I had the opportunity to get him to cut carbon for the 10-inch. It was like Gravy. You know, the first run was like myself, Gravy, and I think he made one extra one. There was like literally 3 of them made initially, and it was like me and Gravy and some other one.
Nice.
You know, and like fucking, and that was that became like one of my favorite all-time quads. I mean, if any. Here in Indiana, I haven't been able to get out with the 10s at all, hardly. And when I was in the city, oddly enough, when I was in the city, 10-inch was my primary quad.
Your go-to?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I was pretty much exclusively flying 10s, and then maybe I'd pull the 6 out. Usually what I would do is I'd pull the 6 out, warm up, fly a pack or 2, and then just 10 for the rest of the day until I was out of packs.
Wow.
Love seeing those fly around. They're gnarly as fuck.
It's
gnarly, man. Love it.
Yeah, you know, I love it too, man. I miss being able to get out. I'm in a neighborhood I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's fucking cornfields. And when the corn's in season, you don't want to get lost in cornfield. You know what I mean? Like, even if you got a Hellfire, just going through a cornfield is a motherfucker. You're going to get all cut up. You know, fucking, it's just, I'm not my cup of tea. I don't have a great spot to fly them here currently, and so I don't have a car at the moment, so fucking, I'm kind of grounded in that regard. And it's fine, you know. I'm out flying my squirt and shit like that. And right now, you know, I've been this last year or so, I've just been hella focused on, you know, cinematic shit in general, you know. So like,
yeah, man, yeah. Well, it shows, bro, how the level of which you're raising the bar. It's crazy. It's good. Love it. Love seeing it.
I enjoy sharing, you know, learning and sharing and teaching, you know. Like I said, my goal now in the coming year says I want to go do the training certification to become a certified trainer for Resolve.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'd like to get
Hell
that.
yeah.
I'd like to do that and be able to start like doing certification classes and shit.
Cool.
Yeah, I dig it, man. And then
I
fucking I spend so much time fucking with it. It's like, you know, there's still tons to learn, and that's the thing I love about it. I'm never gonna run out of shit to learn. You know what I mean? Like, but like, it's like, you know, but the core things, you know, fusion is a motherfucker. It's still, there's tons of function.
Oh my God.
Tons of functionality in fusion that I don't totally use or understand it because I haven't needed to yet. But like, man, yeah, color Fairlight.
I was
You were so
I
what?
was so happy just to get my logo on the side of a bridge. Like in Fusion, I was like, I've arrived.
Yeah. Well, dude, the fucking trackers in there are pretty good. And like when you're like, maybe
Amazing.
if you don't want to use a certain type of stabilization, or maybe you don't have gyro data, if some of the camera tracking, the locked on, we call it locked on stabilization, where you basically just lock points and then stabilize the shot around that locked point and then transition based on those points. Take a point and lock it, and then take another shot and lock that a point that's similar, and then transition from those 2 points. You know what I mean? And like,
is that the effect like you see when people are like dancing and then the scene is like moving around them and they're stable? You know what I mean?
Similar, yeah.
Like TikToks and stuff.
Or like, well, if you've seen like a shot where somebody like is like, you see it a lot of time with gimbal shots. Somebody's like gimbaling around a car, and like they'll like, you know, and they'll like, they'll come around to like the logo of the car, and that logo will get locked. And then all of a sudden it will like do a fucking zoom transition into the car wheel or something, and then out, you know, zoom out into a different thing, you know. And it's just with playing with the motion. And so I'm trying to start emulating shots like that with the squirt, where I can like do a quarter orbit, then do a, you know, truck in and fucking, and then use locked on stabe to be able to like in my transitions, basically, you know what I mean? And it's. Yeah, the good thing about studio is you get the camera tracker and the good planers, and you can fucking do some really, really dope shit. What up, Sprayer?
Nice.
What's going on, Sprayer? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, like I was stoked when you told me the other night, because I didn't know you were running studio for a minute. What pushed you over the edge to get Resolve Studio?
Yeah, man.
Tell me.
You did. You did. You told me about the basic and what was going on there. Yeah, I've been watching you in the chat and stuff for a while, and I was like looking, and I was making that jump. Westside was teaching me Adobe and stuff, and I'd been on Adobe for 2.5 years or so at that point, just using that. And then I saw you coming up with DaVinci, and I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta make the jump. So,
did you make the plunge into studio really quick, or did you like, did you get
a month, I think. Yeah.
Oh, no shit. Oh, right on.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, I always try to tell people, it's like, you know, start with free and really learn it to the point where you know you need the shit that, you know, and then at that point decide like,
advice.
You know, decide like, are you interested in one of their cameras, or do you want one of their editing keyboards, or because a lot of their gear comes with licenses, you know what I mean? So if you buy the edit keyboard,
nice Black Magic.
Yeah, you know, you buy the edit keyboard, you get a license. If you buy one of the little color panels, you get a license. If you buy one of their cameras, you get a license. That's what, you know, and ultimately.
I realized that.
Yeah. Like the Blackmagic, you buy a brand new Blackmagic 4K, it's $1,300, but the license is $300. So it's basically like you're paying $1,000 for the camera, and
saving
you know. Yeah. And then for a minute, like if you buy the speed editor, it's $400, and you get the license, so you get the fucking controller with the jog wheel.
Are you serious? The speed editor?
Well, there's
a little bit too. That's crazy.
When it first got released, it was $300. You got the speed editor and the license for $300. It was a no-brainer. It was like, I already had the license, and so there was a spot out in Cali that was just selling speed editors for $100, and Artie and I both grabbed them because like we already had licenses, so it's like it was a super good deal. But yeah, now I think they bumped it up. You can still buy a speed editor for $300, or you can spend $400 and get the Resolve Studio license. Or you can spend $500 and get the big edit keyboard with the jog wheel and the full key map laid out. And that's like $500 or something like that.
For real.
But like, yeah. And at some point, I'm gonna
actually gotta take a piss. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Be right back.
Right on. So you know what? Why he does that? Fucking, we gotta get into this other topic too. I've totally lost. Oh, Gooni's one of Gooni's topics.
Oh. Yeah, I'd love me a Blackmagic camera.
Yeah, I mean, they're, you know, and the cool thing is with the only downside to buying them used is you don't always get a license with them. Some people do still include their license, especially if they already had Resolve and they just got a spare license. A lot of times they just leave it in the box because it doesn't expire. But like I told Chris Teal, you know, Chris is going to be building a Blackmagic naked, and I think those cameras are, especially the 4K, it's a fantastic value, and it teaches it's
crazy.
It is a dude, that money, like the money, you think of it, it's like not only do you get a nice camera that can make really amazing images, you get a tool that can really teach you stuff about cinematography and how it all actually works on a much bigger scale, because everything that you get and the way you use a Blackmagic camera and everything about how they work and the mindset behind them is scalable into Red, into RE, into, you know, every real film cameras. I mean, it's based on that, you know, ethos. So like you're learning, you know, when you shoot with Blackmagic, you have RAW, so you have to develop your shit, you know, and make your footage, and and I mean, and that's what got me started, you know, like going deep into the rabbit hole, you know, fucking.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. And they're, yeah, like you said, they're beauty cameras. They're like cinematic stuff it's ridiculous.
Do they have a GoPro warranty? You can get insurance on them, and you can get some like drop protection and shit like that. But I was telling Allie in the chat the other day, it's like, you know, unless you really want the license or really need a new one, buying a used one to make a naked cam for, you know, for a bigger rig, like a naked Blackmagic, you know, you get a used one for $800 or something, and then just gut it and fucking make a naked out of it, and you can build it with whatever kind of lens mount you want.
Yeah, man. Do you know Straw Hat Sam?
Hmm?
He made the Vulture. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vulture's great. Yeah.
He's making a new Vulture that has the camera guts inside of the drone. I don't even know. I don't even know what he's doing, bro.
Nice.
That's craziness to me. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out.
That's super dope. When Medlin was on the show a couple weeks back, we were talking about, because he builds the gyro, the servo things with the head trackers. So we were talking about how to like do a Blackmagic, with that. And I mean, that's amazing.
A head tracker on a Cinewoop would be pretty cool, you know.
He has it.
Tossing it out just so you can get,
he has it.
He does those. It's pretty sick.
He does. That's what he recommends you get to start if you're going to get into head tracking, cinematic head tracking. You can get a 75 millimeter whoop with the head tracker servo on it, and fucking all day, man. Yeah.
Practice. Yeah, I love that. It's gonna be some seriously interesting flying. You know, your head changing your camera. How are you gonna be?
You could do some wild shit with it.
Right?
He used it in the freestyle contest, and it was dope.
No.
Yeah,
No way.
went to IO. He entered the contest and used the head tracker, and he was doing some dope shit with it. Honestly, I thought he was gonna win.
I think the best thing about it, personally, all right, so you know how with a squirt, like imagine like you're trucking in on like the side of a car. Well, the cool thing is that, you know, normally you're gonna get so close, and then you got to tilt back, and you're gonna change your angle. With a head tracker, you can bank the quad, but keep the fucking camera angle the same, and then just pull back. Yeah, and that's what he was doing.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been.
Yeah, so you could like do a dive. Like if you're about to do a dive, you could fucking look down and then just dive in. You know what I mean? And dude, just crazy.
That's exactly what he was doing, because there was this silo we were flying around, and he would fly down in it, like looking straight down, and then fucking blast off looking straight down still while spinning and coming up out of it.
This is fucking dope.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
That sounds amazing.
I definitely want to remix one of my squirts or something to accommodate that shit. Yeah, for real. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah,
very
the head
cool.
tracking looks fun. Bundle for $8.15.
So,
Nice.
all right. Trying to keep us somewhat on time, if that's like a real thing. Well, you have another very interesting topic, I think, that we should probably get into, because I feel like we could talk about that for a minute. Tell us a little bit about the UFO phenomenon.
Oh man, what an adventure that's
And
been
your
too.
interest.
Since
So
2006.
let's back up. What got you started in that? What got you and started in all of that? Like your interest in the
literally
phenomenon.
In 2006, I had a daylight sighting of 2 UFOs. What I'd say was a scout ship, and then a giant mothership right off the coast of San Francisco. Like legitimately the size of something off of Independence Day, off of the coast. I thought for sure it was going to make like headline news, and it didn't. But lots of people had reported it to Newfork, the National UFO Reporting Center. And yeah, it was something else, man. It was not an expected experience. I went up, usually go up to the top of this place in Mount Tamalpais. Have you ever heard of it? It's like a coastal mountain that overlooks. If you look behind you, you're looking at the Golden Gate Bridge, and you look out, and there's this place called Farallon Islands, and the sun usually sets like just as the end of summer, like right there. So it's unbelievably gorgeous. So I go up there all the time, smoke a joint or whatever, and look out at the sunset. We just got up there and literally looked up in the sky. It was me and 2 of my buddies, and my buddy points out that there's a flare coming down. Totally looked like a flare when we first looked, and I looked up. It looked like just a burning reddy orange looking object coming down just on the outside. It had like white aspects to it on the inside when you finally could focus in on it. And then it just stopped, dead stop, and you could really recognize that it was like the size of like a car or a truck. It was only a few thousand feet above us. So that was like mind blowing. Like I couldn't believe that I was seeing it. And it took off pretty fast. It was only there for a few seconds, and it took off. And I'm still looking up, trying to find like, maybe we'll see it somewhere up there. And then my buddy's like, "What's that?" And he points out, and just past the Farallon Islands, like the Farallon Islands are a few miles off of the coast. And then about the same distance, maybe a little bit further out past it, there's this cloud that's billowing, that's forming only a few thousand feet above the ocean. And it's big, like it's a big cloud, but it looks really weird because it looks like somebody's taken a cookie cutter of like a crescent moon, and cut out the side of the cloud. So it's the weirdest looking thing. Like the side of it looked like it was perfectly cut out and had like this flat surface on one side as the cloud billowed out the other side. And then like something you'd see on like Star Trek, like a cloaked ship just appeared right in the edge of that cloud. And it was a disc on its side, angled off to the side, floating. The cloud almost immediately dissipated, and it was just sitting there at a funny angle. I'm jumping up and down, screaming. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, "Are you guys seeing this?" Like, it was such a pinch me moment, and I had no reference, like nothing visually that I could see that I've ever seen that could compare, because it was so odd. Even the metal, even the outside of the metal, it was like this, I'd say like not a dark gray, but like a dullish gray with a shine still on it. Like it looked dull, but had a shine on the exterior of it that was really cool. And just like like the old school, taking 2 plates and pressing them together. And like there was a middle rim around the outside. Yeah, it literally looked like there was no rivets or anything. It was very far away, granted, but it just looked like one solid piece. It was unbelievably spectacular.
And
Saw
like
some weird shit in the sky, fucking probably around the same time, around 2006, 2007.
2006? Yeah.
Around that time, yeah. It was shortly after I was out of high school. I graduated in 05. Fucking, we were walking, and it was daytime too. We were walking down the street, few of us, And I always look up at the sky just because of this
Mhm.
same shit. I'm always looking at for like things that fly, airplanes, fucking
Yeah.
sky formations. But I noticed, and so did everyone else I was with, there was 3 silver fucking balls about the same size that you described, about the size of a truck,
Hmm.
a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're flying. The cloud formation was probably maybe like 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet.
Yeah.
But you could
Okay.
see them, and there was 3 of them. They were flying in and out of the fucking clouds, darting in and out of each other, but flying with each other at the same time, like
Hmm.
rotating around each other, and then fucking they would just disappear off into the fucking just nowhere. And we all looked at each other and we're like, did we all just fucking see that same thing? And everyone was like,
So
yeah, what
wild.
the fuck was it? Because like it almost like looked at like birds, and but like then
Yeah.
you realize the clouds though that we're looking at are thousands feet up, and you can see these
Right.
fucking silver ass fucking balls
Shapes.
literally
Yeah.
flying around in the sky, and then just fucking
Were they
gone.
were they deformed at all? Or were they perfectly round?
They're perfectly round. They look like,
Yeah.
and like, and
Cool.
they would catch light from the sun, and you could see
Yeah.
them.
Reflecting
They
off.
were like
Yeah.
chrome colored.
I have not
Yeah.
seen a UFO. I want to see a UFO. I've seen things in the sky that made me go, but it was usually like, it's probably, satellite or this or that or whatever. But like,
Hmm.
I've never seen one that I'm like, oh shit, I think I've actually seen a UFO. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm hoping someday I do.
Well, one of
I'm
the
always
telltale
looking.
signs is you should, yeah. If you want to, you want that desire, go out, spend some time out there, watch the sky.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's interesting. I had to look at a lot of different modalities of thought, like because I started seeing UFOs regularly. Granted, like you said, I was paying more attention now. Like I'm looking up at the sky constantly. I've seen this
Mm-hmm.
object. Now I want to know what a helicopter looks like, what a seaplane looks like, military craft. I want
Yeah.
to know what everything is in the sky so I'd be able to identify it
Mm-hmm.
properly
Mm-hmm.
and know what's what, and then know what looks different than usual. And one of the things I noticed, like in like the satellite area way up there, is that satellites are very consistent in their direction. It's always
Hmm.
one direction,
And they move pretty
and
quick too.
usually they fade in and out. The sun hits them for a period of time, and then then it doesn't, and then they fade out, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they come back based on where they are in the sky. But most of the time, they're very consistent. But seeing an object change direction, it's pretty, something that height, you're like, that's interesting.
Right.
That is something noteworthy for sure. Yeah.
And like, what are your thoughts on like, I mean, number one, like, I'm just like, the universe is fucking gigantic. How could it not, how could there not be life out there? Like, just first and foremost. But like,
Yeah.
but I also like the rational side too. So like, okay, well, how much of that? So like, how much of this is extra dimensional, extraterrestrial, or just something the government has got in the air, which is that we just don't know about yet? Like, what's the percentage?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, what do you
know.
think the percentage is? Like, or
It's interesting because all the guys that had recently gone before Congress were saying interesting things, like it was Grush, I think, that was saying, he's like the main guy right now that's talking, and he was saying that the very nature of them being able to bend space-time is consistent with dimensional travel. So it's some form of, like, at some point there is some sort of dimensional travel going on. So technically a lot of this has got to be dimensional travel, like people from
I
parallel
think that's why,
universes and
like,
stuff.
a lot of their ships appear the way that they do, the way they fly. How they can seamlessly just change directions. They're not actually like traveling through space. They're basically warping space.
well, that's what I was
That's why
gonna,
film would
Yeah.
have a hard time fucking filming them, because it's never like they could be skipping in and out of fucking reality for all you know.
Well,
Yep.
folding
I think,
folding space and time isn't
sorry?
necessarily. I don't is. folding space and time isn't necessarily going to a different dimension. It's literally just bringing two-dimensional points of the same reality
points together
and traveling through the eye hole basically, and then But it's interesting that because there could be a mix of it, because the interdimensional stuff, or breaking space and time, in regards to that stuff is, it could be different from people that are just folding space, like
they could be folding their own consciousness in and out into like different dimensions or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely a consciousness part of this that I think is probably one of the biggest things that I've taken away. I really truly feel like consciousness might be on one wavelength that's linked, because when you get in the zone, connected. Yeah, it's so weird. I honestly feel like sometimes when I see these things that the connection there has a mental aspect to it, that I feel like your consciousness is aware of them existing, and now they're aware of you existing, and there's kind of a give and take there of connection that
I think as humanity's mind evolved too, like they're gonna realize that consciousness isn't exactly what we think it is, or the limited version of what we have isn't exactly everything. We're gonna start seeing reality as it truly is. I'm not, probably nowhere time soon, but thousands of years in the future, when humanity's evolved enough where they can realize that different dimensions can be seen just by changing your perspective.
Different wavelengths. I mean, we only see and hear a limited bandwidth. You know what I mean? There's all sorts of fucking frequencies out there that we can't perceive, at least not consciously as it stands. There's theory that, just an audio theory, I'll keep it simple. There's theory that harmonics and things that a human ear cannot actually hear, yet we still perceive subconsciously, and they affect us in various ways. And at
a subconscious level, because where our subconscious is recognizing them. Interesting.
And the whole quantum theory, fucking that shit really blows my mind. The idea that a particle can exist as both a wave or just exist in multiple states until it's observed by a conscious being. The fact that consciousness affects reality in that manner, just from you turning your attention to it, shows that consciousness and what we have around us, the space-time, it's all the same fucking thing. It's all the same realm.
Yeah.
This body, this human form, is just like this thing that travels along this fucking interdimensional plane. You get to witness the universe through this medium of a body until it fucking expires, and then you just become pure consciousness again. I don't know, that's my
Do you think you go back to the source? Do you think you go back to the source then? Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, me too.
I think we've all been there multiple times.
Yeah, I think so too.
Strong. It's good indicator where Buddhism and reincarnation and things of that nature potentially stems from. So what? You said you've had multiple UFO. You've had many multiple sightings. How many sightings have you had now?
I'm well over 100.
No shit.
Yeah, well over 100. Yeah. Very, very, very steady flow of UFO sightings. Yeah.
Nice.
It's I had years off though. When I first had my first kids, I think my focus definitely wasn't on the sky anymore as much, and I felt like I needed that time away to connect with my own kids and stuff without really looking at the external world so much as looking at my own kids, seeing the internal world through them,
right
so it was a few years ago that it started back up again, where I was seeing them really steady. Actually here on Vancouver Island, it's pretty consistent.
It seems like it's been ramping up. It's almost like something's coming.
Well, I was just gonna say, have
Because
you
I mean, they're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about it. The actual fucking releasing fucking information, saying, "Yep, yeah, it's all true."
do you notice? Did you notice a correlation, or have you seen more up north, or where do you think you've seen the most? Up north, or
Yeah.
you said you saw some out near Frisco, so like,
So a correlation for me, I have a few. I would say the ocean being probably one of the main ones, or being far out where there is a lake or something of significance in nature, a big mountain, anything. I find that being somewhere
Up
that
RZ.
geographically probably, sorry,
Oh, I was saying, "What's up, RZ?"
geographically, I see. Yeah, geographically sticks out, and I think mostly water. I feel like water is a main thing where I see them. I've seen them when I lived up north. I was a miner, and a small town just had woken up. It was like early mornings. We were out there like 5 o'clock in the morning waiting for the town bus to take us to the mine, perfectly clear. And one came in over the town, and I saw multiple times them coming down over the mine, maybe 3 or 4 times in total that I saw them in the mine. So I think they're looking at us, seeing what we're doing for sure.
seeing what we're up to.
Sure,
When
we're seeing maybe like ants to them, but
what do you think about the, it's part of it's like, they're talking there's some disclosure, obviously most people are aware of, that's happening now, with the Congress and all that talking about. What do you think about that in general, like, and let's kind of like, why now, or why do you think they waited, or why do you think they're starting to talk about it finally, like, why now,
I think there's kind of I think a twofold kind of thing. One, because right now there needs to be a distraction. So I think the government is okay with hitting us hard with a good distraction. But the main reason, honestly, is I think the work of the Disclosure Project. I think those guys really wanted to press for disclosure, and it was Donald Trump that passed a what do you call it, before Congress. He passed through basically saying that the people that were coming forward with the stuff weren't going to get charged with anything, that they're going to have a free say in what the government is doing. So I'm a little stoned right now, obviously. so they were able to come forward and like not be persecuted for what they're saying for the most part. It seems like the intelligence agencies are a little hard on them still, not wanting that stuff to come out, because there is the powers that be that, I mean, would you want to give up your ability to fly around and alien craft, to the common people? If you had it on lock, you and I might want to, but I think if you started off rich, you wouldn't.
Well, I think a
want to
lot
be
of people
sharing that
still
stuff.
wouldn't be able to accept it either. That
Yeah.
like this exists elsewhere.
Yeah,
It
100%.
could freak a lot of fucking people out.
Well, yeah. What if?
I mean, there's a lot of questions. So many questions that come with it.
Like, what do you think? Like, just like, imagine tomorrow UFO lands in Times Square, like, or fucking, Central Park, fucking day the Earth stood still. Let's go, fucking, like, what do you think the average person?
Reaction?
Yeah.
I think most people now would be okay with it. I think if anything, we've shown how like over it, we are as the majority of the populace. I think obviously religious context would be a question for sure. I think there would be issue there. But overall, I think the idea that we're not alone, it feels, I think for the most part, pretty good, recognizing that there's that vast space and you've got other things out there. It's good to realize we're not alone in this adventure, that there's more things out there that exist next to us. I mean, there's got to be, like you said, we barely see or hear, light, spectrum, and sound. We're only getting certain levels of frequency there and energy. So there's got to be other stuff. There has to be things that
And what's your thoughts about like
that are swimming on there.
You know, I'm sure you've seen the movie Signs, right? You've seen the movie Signs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie, by the way. But it's fucking.
Yeah,
anyways, you know, one of the things that they talked about as well, but just we've talked about it. Just I think me and Greg have talked about it, hanging out and whatever. But fucking, you know, advanced civilization. It's like, what do you think the odds are? It's like they come in peace in the interest of sharing knowledge, or they come to take our fucking resources. Like, you know, like the very real possibilities of these various scenarios. You know,
there's a good argument for both ideas. One, because we see that, I mean, humans aren't, you know, we're monkeys with nuclear weapons, so it makes sense to me that we treat each other poorly, that we see the villager and take over his village and take his resources and stuff. That's a very human thing to do. Is that nature in its entirety? I think if you were to be a society that's going to survive long term, first and foremost, you're not killing each other. I mean, I think that's probably a gold standard in the universe, that if you're going to exist and continue to move on, you're definitely not killing each other. So I think there'd be a level of consciousness there of probably mutual respect, something on the lines of Star Trek, but we observe and try not to affect things too much, and if it happens, be responsible, I would hope, with the results of that. So
and I think Star Trek's a great example. Maybe. It's like fucking, but the humans, we went out in the spirit of exploration and seemed to have gotten over ourselves finally, at least to some degree. But then you had the Klingons and the warlike race, and it's like, it's like there's, because while while a species may stop killing each other, doesn't mean they'll stop killing other species. You know what I mean?
I think it's equally possible that there's vicious species out there as well as, perfectly fine ones that are coming down to share their tech with us. The likelihood, some of them gotta be hungry. I mean, the likelihood of either coming in contact with us is probably, the same, equal. Which is actually probably terrifying for the future of humanity.
A species that's far in advance of us, that's our enemy, would kind of be bad news for us.
And then the other side of it is that nice species comes along trying to help us out, and we fucking kill them because we're dumbasses.
Because we are the
we're the goddamn Klingons.
For all,
fucking,
I mean, for all, we could never get over our war tendencies, but that doesn't stop us from fucking actually still propagating the galaxy. Like we could, like look what we're doing right now. We can't get along as a species. We're fighting each other, but you got people like Elon Musk doing crazy shit, sending people to fucking, trying to send people to Mars. He's doing crazy stuff with reusable rockets, while the rest of the world's going crazy. So his idea is, well, I'm gonna go populate the rest of the fucking galaxy while you dumbass fucking fighting each other. Who's to say that humans aren't older than we really think, and that we've done that before, and then every time we fucking land somewhere new, we forget about who the fuck we were before, because what's gonna be around? Like, I mean, people forget shit fucking what they did yesterday. What do you think's gonna happen 150 years from when you crash land on a new planet?
I think that totally. Are you a fan of The Expanse? Have you ever watched The Expanse?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a good show. Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's great.
It's a very good take on.
It's good
on the intermediate future of us going intergalactic. You know what I mean? Like it's I really
the only thing I don't like about The Expanse is the travel aspect. I think if we're really going to get distance and be able to fly through space, I don't think we can have very much things affecting the craft. And I think if we're at that point, that it makes more sense that we're going to be able to travel bending space-time and not like physically traveling at a very high rate of speed, right?
I mean, well, we're going to have to for a while until we get until we get there, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're already.
That's true.
I mean, if you think about, they're currently trying to send astronauts to an asteroid right now. There's a mission going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like that's literally what like the Belters were doing in The Expanse, going out and mining asteroids for fucking and dragging fucking ice. Ice off of them back and shit like that. And then the fact that Earth had gotten to the point where, it was like basically a one world government. Nobody worked. The world, you know what I mean? It was very peaceful, but Mars was still terraforming and all rough, and everybody had to work hard, and they're super militant, and it was like, you know what I mean? The whole, the whole fucking polarization between what just humans just in two different planets were like, and then you had the Belters just out like these crazy fuckers out there.
Yeah, the miners.
Yeah, the miners, dude. Totally different thing.
So cool.
Yeah. So cool. And the fact that their bodies have been affected by the gravity differently, because after generations of low gravity, they couldn't go to a planet without taking medicine, or they'd start getting fucked up from the gravity. Like all that shit starts fucking doing, you know what I mean? Like doing you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot to think about, man. It's a lot to process.
But then the fucked up thing is like, all right, like Zoe's saying, it could be a psyop to fucking cover up.
Yeah.
But back to my point about us shooting stuff, if you look at Roswell, like, didn't we allegedly shoot that shit down? Wasn't that the original story? Like, we shot down something
allegedly,
over our airs?
Or something.
Well,
I think that's...
Crash and...
I think that could be equally off-putting. I mean, if it is really a psyop and we've had this technology that we're seeing is ours, and it's not any kind of extraterrestrial civilization, that's kind of also depressing, because, I mean, that would mean that there's possibly nothing out there, which I don't think most people would like to accept.
I couldn't fathom that being accurate personally.
You ever heard of the Fermi paradox?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, fucking... Maybe if they are there, they're just like, these guys are monkeys with nuclear weapons. We're not going over there right now. You know what I mean? Because I think anybody that's got the tech, if they're not interested in taking our resources, they've got the tech to fucking watch from afar and realize that we're not ready. You know what I mean? Really, in certain regards.
I mean, all those
Planet Earth TV would be a hell of a thing to watch.
Yeah, dude, like the Truman Show for Planet Earth.
Happening a lot when we fucking detonated that first nuke.
Yeah.
Fucking that showed that probably signaled something somewhere that, hey, they got some fucking insane power.
Well, there's tons of accounts.
Holy shit, they're insane.
There's tons of accounts of UFO phenomena and over nuclear missile silos. The UK especially has had a lot of comments over there. They were saying their whole system shut down at points where they're just like, what the fuck's going on? And then they're seeing there's UAP fucking sightings and things coming at the same time. It's fucking it's crazy. It's like and so I mean at the same time they have the if they had the tech to just watch us, they potentially have the tech to just shut us down. But maybe like you said, they're like Star Trek, and their motto, their creed is like, you can't really fuck with them, like you really can't change anything.
I hope so.
Like
I hope that's the way it is, because like benevolent and benevolent, the roll of the dice on that one, having the benevolent come would be not good for us, to say the least.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or it could be us from the future when we figured out time travel and we're just flying around in our fucking time machines.
Yep, that's a possibility.
I like that
How
one.
much
That's
of
a
that
fun
action is that?
Time travel, a whole nother topic.
Meeting up to go flying. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's like it's like if that shit in the 50s happened and we shot something down, like it was like the first fucking benevolent, nice people are coming and we shoot them down. Like the first thing we do is shoot them down. Like what the fuck does that say about us as a species, bro? Like it's like
Battle
the first
of Los Angeles. Yeah,
they were just literally fucking firing shells at a light in the sky.
Yeah, nonstop. Yeah. Did you see when they did a reverse of the negative of that photo? Then it showed the outline of the craft. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
What up, Fly?
What up,
Battle of Los
Fly?
Angeles. Yeah, they reversed it, and then you could see the actual shape of the craft, and it was a disc-shaped craft that they were firing at in the sky that they had all their lights tuned to.
I might have seen that. I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, I've watched a lot of things over the years. You know, I watched stuff about Skinwalker Ranch and all the different
Yeah.
shit. You know,
Oh, the fucking Skinwalker Ranch is interesting. The show on Netflix is a joke, though.
Yeah.
Don't watch that if
For
you're
sure.
trying to fucking actually watch some interesting shit, because they'll be like, my phone's acting up, and they're looking at the dude's phone and it's a smashed screen. It's like, well, it's probably because his phone's fucking smashed.
I mean,
There's no aliens taking over your phone, bro.
not for nothing. I want to build a
Yeah.
a long range FPV flying saucer, just to fly around.
No kidding.
just
Just for fun.
yeah,
you
just
fun shit.
fucking crazy UFO fucking looking thing. Make sure put some crazy ass bright
It's always
lights.
that
Sure.
time.
Yeah. Always.
I mean, well, back in the day, Bot Grinder did a UFO challenge, and the guy that won actually did a pretty neat thing because he made like a disc, but then he took some servos and he took a
Yeah.
ring and had it like spin around it. So he had a quad that had a disc basically
Yeah.
around it, but then on the end there was servos that were spinning like just basically a ring of LED, and so it just went woof, woof,
Oh,
woof,
nice.
and then he had a little, and then he had a bright ass LED on a switch on his radio or something that was just like a bright ass strobe that was just shooting. It was super focused, so it basically just shot a beam down. Like it was just like dee 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 dee, like,
cool.
and so it was like woo woo woo, and fucking dude, it was fucking mental. It was actually super cool. I really liked that one.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like we could come up with some crazy shit.
Of course, FPV pilots would be doing this.
So what was your? I mean, what do you think was your most of all your sightings? Like, which one do you think maybe affected you the most, or was the most like impactful?
The first one for sure. The
Yeah.
first one, that big UFO sighting for sure. But there was other ones that were like impactful. Like I was an adventure tour guide, and I was going through the Banff area, Lake Louise. I'd go up BC and then go into Alberta and all through the mountains. And that was the one where, oddly enough, I started to feel like I was being followed. The paranoia kind of set in on some level, because that was when I saw, it was only a couple, not even 400 feet above the tree line, and there was a UFO that came right down the Athabasca highway. And we were hanging out at a campground, having a campfire bonfire. It's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and it came down and stopped right above our campfire, and then took off. And that was like, I thought about it. I'm like, there's chances of them stopping and checking us out because, a fire in the middle of nowhere, probably interesting. I don't know, but it still got my level of paranoia, and I started to think maybe, abduction scenario started to be a concern for me. At that point, I was worried that I was going to get abducted on some level. Everything was benevolent. Don't get me wrong. Like all of my experiences so far have been incredibly benevolent, more like just kind of like saying hello and that level of interaction. So
it's interesting that you mentioned that, 'cause, like,
nothing negative. So
I think that's probably why some people also get freaked out. But I've had a couple scenarios where I felt like I was being followed, and like there's a feeling that you get that is, that it is paranoia, but like there's a little bit. I almost feel like it's a little more than that. It's something like in your core of your being. You're like, whoa,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa is a good description.
What the fuck is going on right now? I mean, I've had a few experiences that I wouldn't necessarily pin on, alien or UFO stuff, but growing up, I had a couple odd experiences. I used to live out in the country as well, and I had a couple of strange experiences that really made me go, whoa, and really freaked me out at the time. The one especially when I was really young, because I swear I saw something looking in my window and I was just mental. And my parents, like, you know, of course, were like,
Yeah.
no, it's so, you know, and I'm like seeing, like, I
Yeah.
swear I had this off like a handprint on the fucking window. And I kept trying to point it out to them.
Yeah.
They're like, just like, it's just the rain or whatever, you know. And I'm just like, no,
Right.
no, there was something fucking out there, you know, like, strange experience, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know that vibe.
What do you think about
I know exactly what you're saying.
speaking of
Yeah.
abduction? Abduction. What do you
Go ahead,
think?
sorry.
I was since you were speaking of abduction scenario. Like, what do you think of, like, you know, like the fire in the sky type, you know, stories and things of that, abduction stories in general, and
Well,
you know,
the interesting thing about Fire in the Sky, not many people realize, is the movie version of Fire in the Sky. What's his face was super pissed off about it. The guy who had it happen to him. Oh my God, what was his name? Do you remember his name?
I can't remember off the top of my head now. Here, I'll Google it.
Yeah, me either. But he
I can.
he actually, the real story is so much more interesting because they weren't mean to him. They definitely were going to do a medical procedure, but when he woke up and realized that there was all these beings around him, and he immediately freaked out and started screaming and yelling at him, and he jumped off the table and he grabbed a few of the closest things, and he said, you know, what he described, the only things he could describe was like a glass, like beaker kind of thing, and he hid behind the table and was like shaking at him, and they were all standing there, and they stopped like uniformly and like were staring at him, and he was getting mad at them. And
Travis Walton.
They were telling him literally telepathically to like calm down, get back on the table, and he was not having any of it. He was freaking out, right? And they all just turned around simultaneously and walked out the door.
Bye.
He left. Yeah, they just left him, and he's in this medical room, like pretty clean. He said every room was very clean looking, very minimalistic, not very many things in the room.
Like we got
And
another
so
one that
he
fucking
left
became
the-
lucid.
Right. So he walked out of the room, and he said he looked down the hallway and he saw another room. So he like took off to another room and went inside. And inside the room, there was a chair in the middle of the room. And he walked up to the chair. And as he was walking up to this chair that was in the middle of the room started to darken, and you could see all of outer space. Like everything was kind of see-through, but the chair kind of still stayed solid looking. And he started walking up to the chair, and he started hitting buttons, and he said on the screen were like what looked like different solar systems and stuff that were like kind of moving in and out. And then he felt a presence, so he turned around, and a tall Nordic looking human walked into the room and like was like trying to calm him down, but not saying words, but reached out, and he was like, oh, you got to help me. And so he instantly, it was another human, so he was like, oh, help me. And the guy basically walked him down the hallway, and they ended up going into this part that was just like a football field stadium inside, and there was all these ships that were like scout ships that were parked everywhere. And he said that there was gray alien beings and Nordic looking people that all looked very similar. They had gold color eyes, and they were all beautiful looking women and men. And he's starting to freak out because he's realizing that it's not people that are going to help him. So they took him to a chair and they sat him down, and then literally gave him something that made him pass out. And when he woke up, he was on the side of a road a week later. And then the rest of the story kind of unfolded like they said. Yeah, they thought his brother and all of the people that he worked with were being accused of murder. And like the FBI and stuff had like investigated them pretty hard. Interesting story.
Are there any other stories like that that come to mind, like that you're interested in? What are your favorite stories in general with all the different phenomena? Like, is there anything that comes to mind?
Just the recent stuff. The recent stuff is most interesting to me because it's stuff that I hadn't heard. Thinking more towards the lines of not aliens, but the human aspect of having craft here on Earth was really interesting to me. Like, one of the gentlemen was in South America, he was on a SEAL team, and the SEAL team was in charge of going and getting some of Obama's family members. There was an earthquake in South America, and they were in charge of getting some of the family out that were in the middle of nowhere, and wanting to pull them out, but also possibly aid some of the people that were there. And they rolled up onto a Black's Ops project that had a floating, like football field size UFO that was floating there, and they got into an exchange where they ended up literally taking their weapons, the SEAL team's weapons, because they could tell that they were geared more than they were, and they were speaking English like Americans, fellow Americans, and were literally yelling at them to disarm themselves and stuff. So they ended up doing it, and then they scanned all of their faces with like retinal scanners and stuff. And then they said that they saw literally these dudes loading body parts that were in giant bags, human body parts that they figured it was probably victims of this earthquake, dead bodies that they were collecting and loading up onto this UFO. And then it took off and flew off, and they were told at threat of death that if they said anything, they had to sign paperwork and stuff when they got back to the base. There was a guy who was unmarked, didn't have any insignia or anything on him, and he made them sign paperwork and stuff. So it's crazy. If that's true, that's more interesting to me, that we have maybe a small breakaway civilization inside of our own humanity. That to me is pretty nuts.
Right. I mean, I think in terms of credibility's sake, I think that the fighter pilots, a lot of the stories from the fighter pilots that have been declassified and have been coming out in the recent years, I find those super intriguing, because they're it's like you got guys that live in the air, physically live in the air, and see everything you can imagine from the air. And when they're telling you they are seeing some shit that they don't know what the fuck that is, that's something you got to pay attention to. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, man. Whoa.
Yeah.
These dudes are seeing some shit and like their weapon systems can't track or are barely able to, you know what I mean? Like, and they're like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, whether it's man-made or otherwise, that's still pretty serious shit. When you, like I said, you got guys with some of the most sophisticated airplane, fighter technology we have known to man. The best shit we got is sitting there going, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean?
Concerning.
That's concerning. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
concerning,
at least to some degree, it's like, whoa. And then, like I said, it's like these guys. What's some fighter jock? What's he trying to gain by disclosure? By saying I had an experience.
Nothing. The reverse.
Right.
The reverse of what
generally,
you would hope.
Right.
You would hope they'd be able to come forward, and if they're at risk of losing their career, why the fuck would you want to come forward? I wouldn't want to.
And I think creating a space of amnesty for these people, because that's one thing. It's like, the majority of a lot of these accounts have been relegated to crazy land, tinfoil hats, whatever. And it's like, no, this, like I said, number one, just from a purely like, the universe is pretty goddamn big. It's like from all the fucking planets and all the galaxies and all, dude, space. Just the fraction. I mean, we're with the fucking, with the James Webb, we're just now starting to crack the egg a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, we had telescopes and stuff, but like now we're seeing through time and space with those, because of the way, because of how the light travels. And then, like, we're cracking the egg, in a way that is just massive,
massive,
just unimaginable in certain regards.
Unprecedented.
Yeah. And
100%. Yeah, I sent you a couple videos there that I had experiences, and honestly, like, they're cool to me, but they're like, the one that I have that's only a couple thousand feet, I'll explain them to you if you
let me
end up putting them on.
Let's look at them really quick. I'm just trying to find the folder. Let me just find the folder.
Yeah, Enoch was actually the one who told me about the ROAR camera. So for reference for the video that's coming on, so there's this camera called the Aurora, and it has this really crazy infrared, sorry, I should say night vision technology in it that you can use during the day and at night. And with this technology, they were
Here, I'll
seeing
show.
craft in the daytime that you couldn't see with your own eye. You couldn't see it. So it became very popular amongst the UFO community.
And what? So this was originally developed
about this thing.
This was really developed for just night. This was just night vision, just developed for like what, military or?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Military applications. Like the next step up is about $12,000 piece of equipment, and this thing's in around the 1,000 to 1,500 area. Depends on where you are, but so it's
you get that thing, you point at the sky
expensive.
and you see an invisible invasion force. You're like,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
hey guys.
So I saw a daylight craft. I was literally looking at eagles. So it turns out this technology, it's really interesting because anything that has photosynthesis, like trees and stuff, turns white. All of the trees and grass and everything looks white, and like everything has like a pink hue and stuff to it. So it's really cool looking. It looks like a complete trip when you're looking through it during the day, daytime. But crows are completely black. And that's the only thing that I noticed while looking through this thing, is that crows were entirely black as I'm looking through it. So so I was looking at other birds to see if this was like a bird phenomenon, just not a crow raven phenomenon.
Right.
And so I zoomed in on some eagles, and they're flying right outside my house. And in one of the videos, there's the eagles flying, and right behind it, a UFO comes across in the sky. And I couldn't see it with my bare eye, but I could see it in the camera. And that was the first time I caught it.
And this thing records?
One with my night vision camera.
It records?
Yeah, it records. Yeah. Yeah,
I was like, I could have looked at the features.
And then
what
the other one was,
what kind of
yeah,
like what's the resolution and frame rate and stuff? Like what
720p. 720p. I don't know about the frame rate. It's not super amazing, but it's not bad, right? Like looking at it, it's not completely a potato, that's for sure. So and if you put
720p maybe,
you could see far.
That's 60 frames.
See some really cool stuff.
Okay. Well, they classify frame rate as 60 hertz, but I'm not sure if that's 720. Oh, right on. I'm just looking at the manual and shit.
Yeah, speaking of which, though, you should put that on a drone and fly with it. You can put like infrared in front of it, and you could like light up the.
What kind of file does it give you, though? I mean, it gives you a movie, but like, what is it? Have you? I guess we're gonna look. So is that what you sent me? Were clips from this, or? Yeah.
Those are one, the eagle and the daylight sighting, and then I sent you one where there was a UFO flying over us that was like less than 2,000 feet above. All the dots in the sky on that one are stars and satellites, and then you can definitely see that this UFO is rather low in comparison to everything else. It's big. Have you found it?
Here. Let me come back really quick. I was looking through the manual of the.
Oh, the Aurora.
Yeah, I had the Aurora up. Where
it's just cool. It's a cool ass camera, man. It's a cool ass camera.
All right, so which one do you want to watch first, the Eagle or the other one?
Yeah, show the daylight one first. The daylight one's interesting.
Well, work. Oh.
I'd like to get a regular camera and put them side by side. So a lot of people do this. They put their regular camera beside the night vision and then show that you can't see what it's seeing. But I didn't do that just because I was just checking things out. My intent wasn't to see a UFO that day.
So there's, what the fuck?
Those two things in the front are, yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, so needless to say, I was super happy Enoch told me about that thing. I've been honestly, I've been trying for a long time to, like, most of the time when I'm out there, I don't bother bringing it with me. I'm starting to bring it more and more because I'd like to capture more cool shit on it for sure. But for a while there, I wasn't bringing it out with me, and I should have been.
So these are two eagles up front, is what you're saying. Those are two eagles.
Yep. And then you'll see one. I think there might even have been a second UFO in that video that came by.
Have you ever tried to like take some of this and put it into some of the AI sharpening and focus, like Topaz or anything,
No,
or even
yet.
just
I'll
throw it in Resolve
the raw files.
Yeah, throw it in Resolve and start playing around.
I threw it in Resolve to smooth out because there's some lines that are in it. I threw it in Resolve.
Yeah, there's two. There's two. There's one here and one here. Oh, look at that. I'll back it up. There's one here. Pause. You know what'd be really interesting too is like when throwing it in Resolve, like play around with the color channels and just see if there any other see if certain channels like you know
bring up more.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like try to like because a trick I do in color grading is like I switch cameras. I switch fucking channels from like RGB into like I might take a channel from my RGB feed, split it out, and then remix it into my luminance channel to add depth, you know, to something or change the way things are being rendered. So, you know, but in doing that, you get a lot of control over like actually looking spectrally, you know, at each channel and what kind of data it's actually capturing. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, fucking what we might be able to pull out by, you know, playing around and see if maybe there's other colors that aren't showing up, you know, initially, or, you know, other things that we're missing, you know, because we're only looking at it in this color space, but maybe looking at it in a different color space, which could show us something different. Yeah, there's something, that one's going down here. That one already left. It's pretty fucking wild, bro. Sorry, I can't get rid of the play thing. Oh, there it goes. Here, one more time.
Yeah, that was neat to me because it was daylight. The other one, the nighttime one, is cooler because it's so obviously a round flying UFO. But
I'd be real interested, like, yeah, to see what we might be able to pull out and
yeah, please do. I'll
enhance,
send you
enhance, enhance,
yeah,
enhance.
That thing is clearly metallic in nature. It's reflecting the fucking sun.
Oh, it's weird because there's another one coming through.
Yeah, I think there was. I think there's another one that I saw coming in.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
The next one is more crazy.
Have you ever?
Next one is more like UFO.
Have you ever put any of this out there? Have you put any of this out there and get anybody else ever get any other feedback?
Yeah, so I'm kind of originally I was very nervous about putting stuff out there and like telling my story when I was talking to Zorro and Enoch first. It was very like, I think I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to talk about this stuff in a public setting. As far as these videos, yeah, I'll do it now. I'm definitely I'll share them now with whoever wants to look at them, and I'll, you know, I have no issues giving the originals or anything to anybody that wants to look at them, debunk them, or better yet, actually scientifically analyze them to know what exactly it is we're looking at.
All right, so here's the night one.
Oh shit! It's a UFO. It's a fucking UFO again. Fucking here, grab it. That's the same. Here, grab this. It's right above us. It's stopping.
What do you want me to do with that?
I need to figure out a reference here. It's going again. It's moving
again.
On
the screen?
How should I fucking frame this?
Are you talking that thing right there, the super bright thing above my head right now?
Right above her head. That's moving slowly. Stop. Get a laser pointer. Ah, fuck! My laser pointer's in the white bin. I've got to stay on this fucking thing.
Okay.
You should see it. You should see it. No, you can flash it and fucking.
Oh, it's this.
No, use the laser pointer.
I don't have one.
I have one. It's in the fucking inside. Go inside of the. Knock on the door. Oh God, bro. I gotta stay on this fucking thing. It is moving
like changing
weird,
directions
super weird
too.
directions.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah.
It's
over
dead
time
silent.
it did a bend and turn.
Completely silent.
There's another video here.
Oh, he's
that I'm
wobbling
looking
all
at.
weird.
It's very similar to yours.
Give me a second. I'll play the video for you.
Yeah, it was
Give me a
only
second,
that
I
thing
wanna
was
stay on it.
really
Okay,
low,
reference.
like super
Here's
low.
Here's
Yours
the
is
floor.
much better quality though.
There's that right there. Back up again. He's right there. He's
Yeah,
still
that
there.
thing's pretty
So
good.
visually
for
seeing
decent quality
seeing
video
it,
footage for sure.
it's low. I'd say
I'd
it's
love to
about
have anybody, you
2,000
know,
feet
I'd be
above.
cool
What was
chat if
that?
you could
What was
analyze
that?
it,
Yeah, I
for
saw it.
sure.
And
Pull it apart, take a
you
look at what's
can't
going
see
on.
that with your naked eye.
Yeah, well, I just got it on record, but I was not looking.
That one you could 100%.
Oh,
That one
okay.
was bright as shit. Like it was super bright. Like it was brighter than the moon,
That's definitely not
and
a
it was
helicopter.
low, like I said. So it was white.
This
it was
is,
round and
an
white,
Aurora
and it
night
had a
vision
perfectly
camera.
blue circle around the
Filming
outside of it,
this.
like a huge the outside
We can
of the
see it with
craft
our
was
Yo,
naked eye.
yo. Did you notice this? This right here, this is moving too. Here, let me just back up a couple frames. Watch,
We can see
right
it
here.
with our naked eye right now.
There's another flash up there.
Oh, yeah, your guy just mentioned it.
About like 11 o'clock from where it is.
Okay, I'll try to frame it a little
Right
bit higher
here.
then.
Oh yeah.
It's covered a lot of different distance, and it's going fucking slow too right now. She's
It's
just
like
cruising.
Going directly away from us now.
Yeah, it turned.
Has it stopped or no? It's flying away from us. Always on the island.
It's that one at the top still moving too.
It's like those flashy things. You're like, hey, as it's going by or something.
This could be sat.
Yeah,
Those
It
could
was
be.
a really
Yeah,
weird.
that could be.
Two. Yeah, I know.
That's above it, yeah. The weird thing is it didn't capture it on the camera, but at one point in time there was a really bright flash in the sky. The camera didn't pick it up, but we clearly saw it with our naked eye.
Like right in my.
Maybe actually, you know what,
No,
Chad?
I
Maybe
still
you
got
could
it,
see
and it looks
that.
bright.
See,
Maybe
right?
find
But when
that.
you look
Right?
at it, it looks like
Right?
nothing. Yeah, it. You can't visually see it with the eye.
Isn't that interesting? Right when we shut the light off.
Knows you're looking at it and it's hiding.
Oh, it's
pretending to be a star.
dipping now.
Yeah.
Keep recording.
Yeah, it's gone.
They know when you're looking at them.
Literally came the second we shut the
Right.
light
I'll record again. So that was a visual.
Yeah, I was
You can
using
see that it was a
laser
UFO. It was only a
pointers
couple
like the
thousand feet above
Stephen
us.
Greer,
Big
the
white
Disclosure
orb.
Project does.
No
That-
visible
that
exterior
probably brought in
lighting.
the
Dead
most crafts
silent.
ever was the lasers.
It was.
They work good.
really
You gotta be
bad to
careful
see,
because if
actually.
you point them up and they're anywhere near a plane, you're fucked.
Right?
They will put you
Yeah,
in jail
true.
anywhere.
And they'll
Oh,
come
shit, it's
find
a
you
UFO.
quick.
It's a UFO again. Fucking here. Grab it. That's the same.
Apparently, it's easy to triangulate.
It's right above us. It's stopping.
And do you ever do you ever check not terrestrial, but you know, they have fucking when there's certain things like this that are
Yep.
cited, you can
Yes.
check all the sat maps and things like that to make sure there's nothing.
I checked the sat map that like evening that where whatchamacallit was going to be. Yeah, I checked all over. But see that one that you saw, I'm not even joking you, it was only a couple thousand feet above us. So if you look at the other lights that are in the sky, those are like stars, and that's what the satellites
looks
look like.
So this is interesting. I don't know if you guys can
at that distance.
I don't know if you guys can see this. You know, I'm an image nerd. You see this? It's shaky. I want to stabilize this. You see this? This is like almost like a flare. But it's interesting because when you back it up a little bit more, it goes from one side. Let me start it a bit early. Yeah, keep your eye on here. Oh no, sorry, it's here. Yeah, I'm seeing some interesting stuff in there in general. But where's that come into the frame at? Oh, here it is. Yeah, my mouse is almost right on it. There's a fucking weird flare, man. I don't know if it's coming from your lens
yeah, that's
or
what it was. It was just above the thing that we saw it with our naked eye. There was just like the flash was big. It was bright, like super bright.
It's dead silent. Completely silent.
that is fucking crazy. That's for sure. It's not. It's just kind of slow, chilling cruise, bro. It's not like going real fast. It's not like.
No, it was dead silent too. Like it didn't make any noise. Anytime you hear where I'm located, the sound travels so easy. I can hear literally cars like kilometers away from where I live, and that made no noise whatsoever.
2,000 feet. But what was that?
Oh, interesting. So you guys audio, yo.
Yeah, well, I just got it on record. Yeah, well, I just got.
Oh no, back up. You guys.
2,000.
Yeah, I thought I caught it. I thought I caught the flash.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
It's low. I'd say it's about 2,000 feet. But what was that? What was that? Yeah, I saw it.
Just from it? That's what me and Kia were seeing.
That's fucking
Yeah, well,
crazy.
I just got it on record, but I was not watching.
This is flashing, whatever that is.
Yeah, that little thing's flashing. Oh, that thing's moving.
This is an Aurora night vision camera filming this. We can see it with our naked eye right now.
There's another flash up there.
Where?
About like 11 o'clock from where it is.
Okay, I'll try to frame it a little bit higher then.
Couple flashes.
It's covered a lot of different distance, and it's going fucking slow too right now. She's just cruising.
Away from us now.
Yeah, it turned.
It'd be interesting. Those cameras, can you, has anybody done any kind of mods for the lenses to like add more like telephoto or anything? Those Auroras?
Yes. Yeah. You can, yep.
Or I wonder if you could fit it to a fucking telescope.
Yes. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to get a telescope for that actually. Really pull it up better.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. Wild. Wild stuff. Yeah, I'm hoping to get lots more, better ones even than that. That one was a good one though.
Yeah, no shit. It'd be rad. It'd be rad to, like I said, fucking just see. I mean, you know, some of this stuff you'd almost want to, like, if you get it, like, you have to keep things in a reference, right? So you're not adulterating the footage in a way that is causing an artifact, you know, and you have to be able to prove that in the process as you're going along. But it would be interesting to get it into you know, a bit of a cleaner state, so to speak, you know, that's non-destructive, you know, but be able to like then maybe look at it with different spectral what am I saying, like spectral imaging, you know, algorithms, and see if anything else, like, especially when you guys, the cool thing is, since you did capture the audio, you're like, oh, what was that? You know, at least you have a reference time where you know somewhere there should be, there's frames with something potentially on it that we're just not seeing in this color space.
Not seeing.
You know what I mean? And then maybe by changing into some different color models, and then even just trying to change the different spaces, maybe the sensor just didn't capture it, which would be unfortunate. But sensors do capture, sensors capture infrared data that we don't normally see. You know what I mean? And other things. And just a standard camera sensor, just a standard camera sensor. I mean, you hear the term like IR pollution, and that's infrared is coming in. The sensor is capturing it. We don't see that shit. You know what I mean? And then when we take that footage and put it in our editors and things, and we make it look nice, we get rid of all of that. You know, but that shit is there. You know what I'm saying? It's in the footage. It's just we're not seeing it because we developed it to our traditional standards, and now you don't see that shit, you know. But point being, there could be some
that's a great point, man,
spectral information in there that you know what I mean. Like,
I hope so.
Yeah,
it'd be really cool if definitely if we could catch the flash, that flash point, because like I said, it was bright when we saw it, and then dude, it didn't show up at all in the camera, and I was like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that is weird. Do you think, because most visual lights that we see well, sensors and when we convert back when we do the transformation, because we do a optical to electrical transform, that's how we record shit. We take it from optical and turn it, make it electrical, and then we do electrical to optical so we can see it on a screen or projector, or you know what I mean. And in that transformation process, usually stuff that we see is part of that scope of that process. You know what I mean? So it's interesting that there's something 100%. That you saw that didn't come through, or but maybe, like I said, maybe we develop it a little.
I found it odd.
Yeah. Because
especially with that camera too, like I thought we would get everything. I thought we'd get absolutely everything.
Yeah, it would be interesting to look at the raw, because these are renders, right? These came off of Resolve or something, or like the files you sent me, right?
Yeah. So I just smoothed it up. I smoothed up the background noise, because you can see there's like that the noise that's going on there, and I just wanted to make it a little bit smoother so the objects could stand out more. But I tried not to change the original look of the object and everything, and if it did anything, I tried to keep it as close as it looked like. Yeah, it was white with a blue ring, and that was I hadn't actually seen a blue ring around a UFO before, so that was cool.
This is fucking really cool. Let's actually, you also sent us one of your videos. Let's check out a couple of videos before we call it a night. And fucking
sure.
Getting late. We can put
some recent FPV stuff.
Yeah, back to
brought us together.
So this is your project, Vancouver Island, yeah? Above Vancouver.
Yeah,
Island.
above Vancouver Island, yeah.
And
yeah, I'm trying to drum up a community over here. I actually was throwing an event on the 24th, I think 23rd, 24th of, or was it 25th, 26th? I'll have to look it up. Anyways, in next week, 25th, 26th, Friday, Saturday of next weekend.
Yeah.
Put together an event here, actually, that the place that I'm at, that was taking the video at. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's called the Open Heart Mind Center. I'm going to use this as a jump off point. Beautiful place to stay, and then going to go out and hopefully film some waterfalls in some local areas and get some people some good footy and have a good time together. I'm hoping.
Bad. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have some beautiful fucking land out there for sure. Some beautiful scenery. Well, here, let's check this out real quick. Ciao. And is this all right out by you, or?
Yep, it's that's 20 minutes away.
You fucking went through the fucking.
I was the ferry.
Yeah,
I know. I saw it and I was pot committed. I'm like, I gotta do this. I gotta go through that ferry.
Fucking funny. Let's see something here.
This spot. Yeah, look at that guy ripping it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, Phoenix is nasty.
So good. It's definitely making me miss freestyle.
Greg Chet.
So good.
Yeah, we're only gonna watch a couple videos, so we gotta get out of here. It's getting late. But if we're gonna get a couple in real quick before we call it.
Hell yeah.
Is there anything else, Goonii, that you want to share while we're watching videos?
Oh, brother, just my appreciation for the community in general. Everybody out there who's ever had a hand in helping me over the years and being there. I appreciate you guys, and anybody that I can return the favor, just ask, man. I'm always there to help out.
Right on. Fuck yeah, man. Well, I know every time we've had a chance to hang out for a bit, we've always had a good time. You've been on the show a few times. It's always
Hell
been
yeah,
fun.
brother.
Always welcome to come hang.
Love you guys. You guys got the best show going. Appreciate you guys a lot, man. You guys been here for the community, and I appreciate it.
I'm hoping I don't get too much rain tomorrow. I want to try to get out and keep working on this.
Get out there, brother.
Get out and work on the squirt some more.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been flying. The other thing I've been flying here is my banger. When you were asking me earlier, I have my 6-inch here.
Yep.
But I have been flying my banger. Just like I just go out and rip a couple and just in the backyard, But
fuck yeah.
I'm mostly recording with the squirt right now.
Yep.
My banger's got an 8 mount on it, and I haven't felt like changing it, and sometimes I don't always feel like charging the 8. So a lot of times I just send it with no, don't even record
with
it.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not even recording. I honestly don't want to bash up my Mini too much because when I bought it, it was kind of like for the squirt. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. 100%. No, I know, brother.
And the funny thing is, I wreck the squirt all the time. Yeah.
Are you in love with the 8.7, the GoPro 8.7? I love it.
I mean, I love the 8.7, but today I could only shoot 16:9 today because I was running the anamorphic lens, and it will vignette like mad on 8.7. I could always crop it, but to be honest, man, the workflow was 16:9 4K, and it looks great, man. Like, I was like, this, and the workflow, dude, it was so easy. You know what I mean? I just literally was like, I'm using a 1.3 anamorphic, click, 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 and my footage was the aspect was set, like, right out the gate, easy peasy, and I was like, hell yeah, like, nice scope look without even like I'm not like cropping to give it a scope look. I'm getting a scope look right out of the camera, which is pretty dope. Like,
oh man, the one shot of your trees in your front yard, I was wow, gorgeous, bro. It looks so good.
This is Minchan?
Yeah, this spot is sick.
Fucking.
Is it Minchan?
Oh, did I?
No, it should be good.
Okay.
I think it is Minchan.
Is this MCK? I didn't see.
This is MCK, yes.
Yep.
Just ripping his 5-inch around his I don't think it's a 5-inch, but it wouldn't surprise me, to be completely honest.
MCK.
Oh, I think it skipped that video, Greg, didn't it?
No, I made a change after I said that, so just leave it alone for a second. It should be good.
Oh my god, he's killing it.
anybody else that's around you too. I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life.
It's West Side.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah, you gotta put it. You can't put it. It can't be the video right after. You have to have one in between. So if it would have been Min Chan, then that video would have worked.
Did you refresh the list?
I can't refresh it while we're watching it, but I can refresh it on my iPad, and it
yeah,
works.
when it comes to that stuff, I needed to refresh.
Oh man, this video, West Side's video.
So you gotta refresh it before this video's over.
I can't do it before the video is over. That's what I'm saying. We're watching the video. I can't refresh the playlist while we're watching it.
I can't rearrange playlist without you actually hitting.
Yes, you can.
Refresh. No, it can only work for adding videos or removing videos, but not rearranging them.
I'll bet you $10.
I don't have $10. Broke.
Like I said, if you would have put it after, MCK, it probably would have worked. We tested this theory together, Greg, actually.
I did have it after MCK, but I wanted it sooner, so I moved it sooner. So I tried to move it back.
What a fun place to rip, man. I've always, watching this place always makes me want to go there. I love nature, but just having shit like this to fly looks so fun.
Alright, let's see if it works this time.
That was a sick shot.
Yeah.
So good.
Nice fade out too, like that.
Alright, let me stop for a second and just make sure this works.
That's a cool shot.
Alright, cool. Stop! Alright, here we go.
She fills me up with glue that only sticks on me.
Holy cheat. Holy shit. It always looks so crazy.
Alright, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man. The 3D, man. That'd be such a interesting new training of the mind to fly like that.
Have you ever tried?
No, not yet.
I've done it a fuck ton in a sim, but never in real life.
I used to fly 3D helis line of sight, and then I've flown mostly in the sim with quads.
Oh, crazy.
So as far as like the way the throttle and such works, I'm used to that from my past experience, but quads like FPV now, like aside from the sim, mainly it's just like it's interesting, but I'm always fearful I'm gonna fuck up my muscle memory for a standard throttle, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah, it is so different.
Yeah, it's definitely fucking.
It definitely
different.
can, because like fucking around on the like for an hour or two in the sim with 3D, and then trying
And
to
then
go
going back
to
right
regular
away. I
fucking
know.
throttle, it's fucked up.
It takes you a minute to get used to it again.
And the whole reason I don't fly 3D in real life is because I'll be mid-flight and forget. And just send my quad rocketing at the ground.
Right.
Oh yeah, Zoe, that was a good flight.
So good though.
Got Fav.
That's slow-mo for the win.
I feel like I have a very similar style to this dude.
That guy, yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah, that was dope. Well, boys, before my girlfriend murders me, I better get going.
Oh shit! Oh,
Yeah, we're almost done here.
We're
anyway.
almost. Yeah, we're almost. I did have one fun little thing. You gotta go though. I'll stop. I can stop this after this video. We can do this. There's only one more
Sure,
video.
yeah,
I think there's one left after this.
You can stick around for another 2 minutes.
Won't even.
I was sick.
Yeah, so good.
Was Captain Vanover?
Oh, it's Vanover.
Yeah.
It's not afraid of speed, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure Russia's gonna give us a copyright strike for this. Tomorrow I'll get an email. You're P2P banned in Russia. Seriously, bro. In Mother Russia, we bring FPV to you.
Love that proximity, man.
It used to be, I don't get them so much anymore, but like it used to be like your fucking stream is just not, nobody can watch it. And now it's just Russia. So I'm just like, yeah.
It's just Russia.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, it's always Russia. It's like every week. You have a copyright violation in Russia.
Most of my Instagram posts are blocked in Russia.
It's crazy.
It's fucking funny.
And every once in a while, they like to send me a notification that it's still blocked in Russia.
Just so you know, it's still blocked.
We are here for moose and squirrel, not your FPV shenanigans.
We don't like Dr. Dre.
Oh!
He's no real doctor. He's con artist.
Whoa! That was close.
So close.
Good shit. Oh, let's see. The random stuff. Oh, look, it's funny we have aliens here. Fast and Furious FPV. Van over again. It's funny because it's always a mix of music, FPV, and color grading. In some camera
that
shit.
Tracks.
Yeah, right? That tracks. Color grading. Every colorist needs to know management like this. Goddamn Skippy. Fucking, well, Goonii, man. It's been fucking awesome having you. Fucking, before you go.
Pleasure, boys. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. Much love, boys.
Before you go.
Appreciate it.
We got last quick questions for you. You got to answer really quick. It's a lightning round. So this is a quick 10 questions. All right, here we go. All right. True X or smushed X?
Smushed.
Would you rather walk around with salad for a head or broccoli for arms?
Salad head.
What is your dream job?
Just FPV all the time. FPV all the time.
What is your signature dance move?
My signature dance move, crotch grab, drop to the ground, come back up with a disco finger.
All right. What is your spirit animal?
Turtle.
In one sentence, how would you sum up the internet?
One sentence to sum up the internet. Trolls wishing that they could live their lives.
Okay. Fly with music, yes or no?
Yes.
What would be your superpower?
Superpower, flight. Yeah, for sure.
Pinch, thumb, or hybrid?
Hybrid.
Shag, marry, kill.
Shag.
No. Out of these three choices, which one would you shag, which one would you marry, and which one do you kill? Your choices are West Side, Trappy, and Virgin.
Kill Trappy 100%. West Side, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna have sex with West Side and then marry.
You're gonna marry John?
I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that.
Chris is getting booty, but you're not getting that check.
Yeah, right.
Right on, man. Well, cool. Fucking awesome. Well, yep, it's late. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
For coming, dude.
Thanks very much, boys. Yeah, I
Chat,
appreciate it.
thank you for joining us. We love you
appreciate
guys. You guys be good. Make some cool shit. Build some
Thanks
cool
everybody for being
shit.
here.
Make some dope footy. Fucking keep your eyes peeled on the skies and let us know if you see any strange phenomena. You should. We'll have to continue this phenomena. We have to continue this conversation, especially as like more stuff comes out. It'd be interesting. Like I'm paying attention. Like I wouldn't say I'm a skeptic, but I'm a logic-based person. I like to see facts and evidence, and
logic is healthy.
And so I try to like see, but like I said, so like some of the things that have been coming out that are just like, yeah, that's fucking pretty interesting.
We live in an interesting time.
Fighter jet pilots seeing crazy shit, bro. Like that's something. That's something to at least take note of. You know what I mean? Like fucking.
For sure.
All right. Well, you guys be good, and good luck with your event, Goonii. Keep us posted if you need us to post anything for you or anything, and I'm sure I'll see you in fucking Discord or something. We'll hang out, dude. The other night, my brain was melting too. The other night, it was funny.
Thanks, boys.
All right, guys. Bye. Fucking split ass. I could do a fucking split ass about a million times. I could do a fucking split ass. You pop out, and then roll, then that is split ass. Fucking split ass. I could do a fucking split ass. You pop out, and then roll. I mean, pop it. You roll.
I don't buy into
then
whatever
you go in
bullshit you're saying.
to the shit. Powerly, blind, powerly, then, powerly, blind, powerly, then. I could do a fucking split ass. Roll, then. That is split ass. Fucking split ass. I could do a fucking split ass. You pop out, and then roll. I mean, pop it.
That's pretty much the only trick that I know.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. 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 My dudes. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday.
Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight.